What's up, guys, and welcome to my Battlefield 1 review. I'm here with my friend Prasad. Prasad, say hi.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and those of unspecified genders.
Alright, we will be getting straight into it and playing some campaign to show you guys some gameplay.
So what is the campaign actually about?
Okay, so right now I'll be playing Storm of Steel, which is the prologue mission of the campaign, where you play as the Harlem Hellfighters, which was an African-American unit during the First World War.
So you're quite literally playing as a social justice warrior.
Yes, I'm playing as a social justice warrior, so to speak. But the main difference here is that I'm actually accomplishing something.
Pow!
Opening cutscene here to get straight to the gameplay. But the CGI looking kind of nice, don't you think, Prasad?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
This is very highly detailed.
Yeah, it is really highly detailed. The cool thing is that the entire campaign has CGI just like this. Alright. Here's the opening monologue. Yeah, the campaign has monologues like this throughout. So, this is a nice little preview of what the single player campaign is like. It's one of my favorite aspects of the game, actually.
So it is a historically accurate game.
Somewhat. I mean, some of the missions you do little silly things. Well, it's cool and silly at the same time. There's one mission where you're like a tank driver and you defend an entire town by yourself against like 30 tanks. So I wouldn't really call that historically accurate, but it's cool nonetheless.
We're surrounded! We have to hold this line!
Game looks quite nice, don't you think, Prasad?
Yeah. And one thing is, like I said earlier, it's quite obvious it's World War I just looking at the tanks.
Yeah.
And then the soldiers.
Yeah, that's why it's called Battlefield 1. Actually, another reason why it's called Battlefield 1 is the history of the Battlefield franchise. The first Battlefield game that came out was Battlefield 1942, which was a World War II era type game. And the game that came after it was Battlefield 2, which was a modern combat game. So there never really was like a Battlefield 1, so to speak.
So they went all the way up to Battlefield 4, and they were like, hey, we never made Battlefield 1! Let's go back and make Battlefield 1!
Yep, that was the basic idea from DICE. And we all love it.
So right now you're fighting against which nation?
Right now I'm playing against the German army.
Oh god, you almost got shot.
I almost got shot. And as I said, I'm the Harlem Hellfighters. But the Harlem Hellfighters did not fight under American unit. They just kind of gave them to the British. So technically this is the British versus the Germans right now.
Okay, that would make more sense because the US wasn't heavily involved in World War I.
Yeah, the US wasn't heavily involved in World War I. And that's a great segue, Prasad, because I can talk about a little bit about the multiplayer of this game, where the Americans are in the multiplayer of this game, despite not being in World War I at all, which I believe is a marketing thing. But anyway, the multiplayer is quite fun. It's 64 player, 32 versus 32. Prasad and I used to play a lot back in the day in Battlefield 3 and 4, as he said.
But beforehand, we used to play on console, and on console it was just 16 versus 16.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it still like that for console?
Well, nowadays with the Xbox One and PS4, it's actually a 64 player on console, just like it is on PC.
So this is the first Battlefield game to ever do that for console.
Yes, it is.
And here, wow, you were incredibly young.
Yes, I was. How old is that? Well, 33, still quite young. But what happens in the single-player campaign is whenever you die, it switches perspectives to a different soldier.
Okay, so that was a scripted death you just experienced.
It was somewhat scripted. I'm playing like in real time, but to progress throughout the game, I have to die.
Okay.
So you can say it's scripted in a sense. Do you like that feature, or?
I don't know, sometimes like video games are so naturally hit into I have to survive, that's how you win the mission. Whereas here, you actually have to die as part of the mission.
Yeah, I can understand that criticism, but I think it really adds to the cinematic experience. That's what I like about it.
Makes it more realistic compared to other video games, where you go across the whole country and kill thousands of people without dying, whereas here you kill 5
And then die. Yeah.
Which is a lot more realistic.
It is a lot more realistic compared to games like Call of Duty and such. But I would still hesitate to call this game realistic. The graphics look realistic, though.
The graphics are incredibly realistic.
Yeah. It's a very dark, dry, and dab feel. Don't you think?
Incredibly so. And as you, I noticed as you get shot, the foreground around you tends to get darker and darker as well.
Yeah, yeah. that adds to the cinematic aspect of it.
So every time you die, it shows the name of the person you were playing as and how old they were.
And how old they were. And see, now I'm a tank.
And if you notice at the bottom, there's a slight bit of storytelling on that too as well.
Yeah.
Are you in a graveyard right now?
Uh,
Looks like a graveyard.
yeah, it's no man's land, you know. Just gotta bury all the soldiers that died. Gotta respect them somehow.
That's pretty gruesome.
It is very gruesome. The single-player campaign in this game is very, very gruesome. As you can see, there's a guy on fire next to a cross.
That's incredibly symbolic.
Yeah. And here I'm moving in. I am not going to be completing this entire mission because I can't spoil all of it. But right now I just want to thank you for watching this video, and I'd like to thank my friend Prasad for being here and helping me do this review. You have any final thoughts on the game, Prasad?
It looks incredible. I'm really going to consider buying it. Black Friday is right around the corner.
Yeah.
But I don't know if my PC can handle this. This is incredibly hardware.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty taxing game, but I would definitely recommend it. It's fun if your PC can handle it. And yeah, that's Battlefield 1. Thanks for watching, guys.